Hello, everybody. Hope, hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful day. Welcome back to my channel. Just to go ahead and look at some numbers here with you guys today. I know I haven't been on here for in a minute, but I got some new ideas that I want to share with you guys and see if you guys would enjoy this. So, with a lot of things on pick three, sometimes we always try to find the best route, where to go, what to find, what to do. There's many options that comes up all the time, right? So this is an option that I have here, which is with this pick three rundown. And what I'm thinking about here for you is just really understanding like what the possibilities are to find new strategies and new ways to play. And I came up with a really cool idea. I don't know if you guys like the 317 rundown. It's one of my favorite ones. There's a few of them that I like to use, but this is a spreadsheet that I have. So if you guys haven't received it or gotten this yet, this is available for sale on Etsy. If you want to check the link below, you can always get the sheet. So what this is, I call it the story system pick three. Okay, so it's really an idea where I use a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, which will give you like a lot of options for you to try to play and narrow down a lot of things that I have. So with this spreadsheet, you get the five different sheets in one, right? So it's a story system sheet, which is what we're looking at right here. Story system is just really narrowing things down for you. So let's say if you put 451, what will happen is it gives you the full rundown or the full combinations of the number. 451, single digits, it's a single number, and it gives you the sum here, the root sum of it, then the pairs of these numbers, and then all the different ways it's got a combination. Then it has an option for the mirror side, same thing, the mirror numbers. Then if you play the flip numbers, here's the flip number side as well. So it gives you all the information there. And it also has a story mode here, just gives you like what kind of number it is. And then, so let's update this. Then it gives you the update of the 451, what's best. It's really just now putting everything else into one thing here. And it gives you the best rundown to use based of my research. But we're not going to use this rundown today because I got another idea I want to share with you. So, but this is the story system itself. And then here is the system that we have, which is the mirror numbers are on this side, the flip numbers are here. These are where you can put your numbers where you want to play. And this pick three sheet has three different rundowns that's pretty much put into one, right? So that's why I have it three different boxes. So right now this is set up as 317. Okay, so 317, 317, 317, right? So that's how these are. So this is the three column, the one column, and the seven column. And then this is the same thing, right? And then on this side is just the calendar side of it, which let me see what is going on here with my screen. Okay, so the calendar side is here. Let me move my stuff around here for you guys so you guys can actually see. There we go. So on this side, it gives you the, the calendar itself, like whatever numbers that you have in your history. So you can update this under the data sheet here. Under the data sheet, it gives you like a whole years of numbers that if like for me, I like to start fresh every year, right? So if I put in 111, and what will happen is it'll be added to the numbers down here. Like today's the February the 14th was yesterday's number. Today's the 15th, so the number hasn't come out today. So when the number comes out, I'll put the number in here and I just hit add. And then from there, what happens is added down here for you. And then you go back in the sheet here, and then you just hit the run button and updates here for you. So the 111 is now there, and then it has the rundown what it's connected with, right? So, but that's the data sheet. Okay, so let me just go ahead and remove this back off. And then on the right side of it here, it gives you like what the best rundowns for each number to play, right? So these are the rundowns. Each number has a number of the combination, what the best rundowns to use. It goes all the way from 000 to 999, right? So that's how it's played. Okay. So it gives you all that, and then gives you like what best rundown combination to use. Like 976 is the best rundown, and 777. And then here's the tracker. So whatever number that has been drawn already, it's already laid out for you. So anytime that you update the sheet and the data, it automatically pulls the number in here for you. So it gives you the full data information. And then on this side, it gives you the pairs. What kind of pairs has played already? The 000 is played, the double pairs, the outside doubles. And if you hit update, it pulls all the information. So let's say 600 played already, and let's say if the 600 is coming up again, and this already played, maybe you can play the combination that hasn't been played. Sometimes people like to play it that way, but it keeps track of everything for you. But these are all the pairs that played already this year. Okay, and then from here, in the temp sheet is where your what numbers are hot, what numbers are cold, what numbers are overdue. Okay, so this is the three-digit combination, right? So let's say 123 is the number, right? So let's say the number played as 123. So this is the first digit is here, the second digit is here, and then the third digit is here, and then it pulls here based on each digit. So if one here, which one is hot? Like 6 is hot right now, right? In the last 90 days drawn. I mean, you can narrow it down here from 10 draws. See, only 10 of 10 days, 20 draws, 20 days, right? So that's how it narrows down for you. Okay. So then if you hit update here, it changes. So let's say the last 20-day draws, it tells you here the hot numbers are number 6, number 3, and number 5, right? 6 is 7th time it came out. 3 is twice, and then 5 is 3 times, right? But 3, 4, and 0 are tied. So you may just look into those to see which best number to play. The cold numbers are 9, 8, and 2. 9 hasn't played anything in the first number, and here it is overdue. It's 30 days ago is the last time 9 has played in this column, the first digit area. 18 days ago is the last time number 2 has come up, and 2 is still a hot, or actually, let's see. I'm sorry. 8 is the one that's cold. See, 8 has 2, but then here in the second column, 2 is cold, or it's a cold number. I mean, it still shows here is 3, but it's based off of the dates. And then overdue numbers in the second side is cool. 18 days ago, 2 has played. Even though it says three draws, but since 18 days ago, the 2 hasn't come out in the second column yet, or the second number. And then 9 days ago, the last time 5 came up, right? So 5 is a hot number, but 5 is still overdue. Okay, so but this is all we're looking at here. I'm sorry, so I'm confusing myself. This is the first digit, so everything else is here. It's based off of this information, right? So 9 is overdue for 30 days, right? Number 2 is overdue for 18 days. And then number 5 is overdue for 9 days, right? Even though if it's but the cold is 2. The number 8 is cold, and then the number 9 is very cold, right? And these are all the hot numbers. So it's each of these numbers that's how it's broken down. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But you can always, like, if the more further you go out, sometimes you can do 90-day draws, which 90 days, and then it pulls it up. See, number 9 is still overdue for 35 days in the first digit. Number 5 is 25 days. Number 9 is 18 days. So it kind of keeps track of when the last time. So that's how cold and hot numbers work based on just 3 numbers, right? And then on the rundown side of the sheet is this is a cool thing about the sheet is because everything else is built into one, makes our life a lot easier for everything else, is this button. You have a tab here. You have all these different rundowns. 111, 123, 223. All these rundowns. These are all rundowns, right? So when I say 251 rundown, I will go to 251 rundown. And whatever number that you put into here. So let's put it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And then I hit the run down. I switched it to 2, 5, 1, and when I hit run, boom, everything else changes based on this number that you put in on the top. So if I put in, I'll switch everything else to 1, 1, 1, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? So everything else changes automatically for you. So that way you don't have to keep writing everything else out over and over and over and trying to waste your time trying to write down your numbers. And this is the quickest way. This is the fastest way to research. I mean, you can go through a lot of numbers, just random, I mean, going through certain things. And then the only reason why I have this as like a checker box is just easier on the eyes. Like if I was to put everything else as white, it's just bundle numbers, right? So that's the reason why I have this like this. Okay. So, but that's the sheet here that we have. And so, but today what I'm going to use is going to be using a 317 rundown. And we're going to be looking at some history numbers. I'm in Arizona, right? So Arizona numbers is what I'm going to be looking at because that's where I reside and that's where I do a lot of my games and stuff here. So with the sheet that I have here, these are January numbers. So most of the numbers here is already in my history here on my right side, right? So these are the history numbers that came up already. Why does it keep doing this? It's getting annoying. There it is. So these are all my history numbers up to January the 26th, right? So that's roughly maybe 20 numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, roughly about 20 numbers drawn. Okay, so but that's what we're going to be using. All right. So I had this idea that kind of like I was testing this sheet out, and this one is a new idea. So that this is what I found, right? So this is what I was looking at here on the sheet. So 446. So I'll still bring the sheet over here. So 446 played on February the. Yeah, my thing is screwed up for some reason. There it is. Okay. So 446 played on February the 8th, right? So what I done is I put 446 in here. So let's do this. 446. And then it's 991. 991. And to really understand how this whole sheet works on this one, what I'm doing is make sure you have your history numbers and maybe try it in your state if it works or not. This one is so 446 is the number that came up, and these blue boxes. I put these on my there myself. I mean, a lot of the sheets that I put out, they won't have these. So they won't have this. They'll have these, but this box will still be there and everything else, right? But these are just my stuff here. All right. So when I put 446, so what I like to do is I like to bring this 446 into this area here where the blue box is at. All right. So that way I see everything else around that 446. So right now I'll put the 822 here. 822, 377, 377. Okay. Okay, so 446 is right here, right? So this is I consider this a date, right? So the 6 is the date, right? Some people say don't, yeah, these are the dates. So I choose this as a date. These are the teens. No, these are the first 1 through 10. These are the teens, and then these here will be the anything above the 20th, right? So that's the way I see it. But I mean, it's really your research. I mean, if you have other ways of using the sheet, that's up to you. But this is the way I use my sheets. So right now, let's look at this. So 446 is on the 6. So what I do is I take the 446, I go to the 6. So on the 6, it says 314, right? So 314 is the date for the 4th, right? So it goes here, the 4th. So on the 4th, this number came up, 7674. So what I do is with this number here, find 674. That's why I have it put it here, 674. And attached to that 674 is going to be the next number on the ninth, which the ninth came up as 736, right? So 736. So 674, you got to find it in one of the boxes here. They should be all attached to it, right? So there's a 647 here. There's a 476 here, right? So let's just highlight this. So since it's in the main column here, so 674, right? So attached to which be the next number, which is 763. Right here, look. 763. Boom. Is attached to the 674. Is based on the date. Even though if I would have played that the one day of 314, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't have worked. But it goes back 2 dates. Okay. It goes back 2 dates. The 6, the 4. All right. So this is like one of the examples I have. But I want to show something else to you. So let's go back out. Let's try a different number. I haven't choose any other numbers yet, but I was thinking about this. So let's try, let's see, let's choose one from January. Let's try this, the 26th, 376, right? So let's do this. 376, 821, 821, right? So now we got to bring this down here, which goes to 752, 207, 207. So 752 run. So now 376 is what our number was here, 376. Okay. So now 376 is here. Now it says the 6. So now we're going to go from the 26 back to the last 6, which is the 16, which is 640, right? So let's remove this. So we'll put 640 here. And the number was 376. And then let's make this the same size. And now here it says 640. 640 is going back to the last 0, which is the 10th. So it's 994. Okay. So that'll be 994. Okay. So now somewhere in the sheet here should be 994. It might be all attached. It may not be attached at all. But let's see. Let's go ahead and scroll through here. Do you see anything that says 994? So there's a 99, then there's a 44. So let's highlight these, 99 and 44. Okay, we'll make it red so that way you guys can see it. Okay, so the next number of the 7 after the 760, or I'm sorry, 376 is 273. Okay, 273. So that was the next number that played out, 273. So, but attached to these 99 and 44, is there a 273 attached to it? Let's take a look here. So there's a 2, there's a 7, 7, 3. So let's see. 994. So there's a 4 down here. There's a 237 going across here. Two, 7, 3. No, this one didn't work well because this one is a 994. Seven, 3, 3. If I went to the 640, because there's no 273 attached at all, except for here. Nothing, huh? Guess my analogy doesn't work on this one. Okay, so let's try one more and see if anything works off of this. So let's remove all these back. And that's 376. I was looking at it the other way around too. Let's see. So this is a 10, 16. So this is 17. 17 is here. No, I was right. Right. So what did I say? 994, right? Okay. 752760. The next number that came up was 273. The only one that's close to 273 is 273,994. So there's a 4, 2. Yeah, I thought I seen something here, but no. All right, let's move on. This one don't work. Let's try the 273 itself. Okay, so the 73 here. So let's move the 73 down. 659, 104, 104. So 273. 273 is the main number. 273. So 273 came out on the 27, right? So the 27. But we should be looking at the 3 here. So we go back to the 23rd. The 23rd goes to 398. So we put 398. So now the 398 is the 8 here. So we go back to the 18, which is 491. 491. So now we're going to look for 491 somewhere in this spreadsheet. 491's here. 491 is here. So it's like really right in the middle. Okay. So the next number that came up after that should be attached to a 601 because 601 is where it played off at. See it? 601, the 28th. There it is. 601. Boom. Attached to the 941. So that's how this one played out. So this is what I mean. It's just like really weird in a way. Somehow, sometimes it works. 610, right? 601, 941, 941. Even this way, 601, 601. So, but this one worked out because the number came out as 610. That was the winning number here. Okay. So let's try the next one. So let's go to 601. Let's clean this up. Let's get this off. Now I go to 601. Okay. So 601 played here. So this is the one. I think I made a mistake by that. I don't know if I was the first one. I think I just based it off on the date. I'm not sure why it didn't work the first time. But 601 is here. So this is the one. So this goes to the 21st. So after 601 went to 600. Now 600 goes to the 0. So it goes back to the 20th. So now we're going to be looking for 156 because that's the number that came up on the 20th. 156. Okay. So 156 is what we're going to be looking for. So we got to change this to 601 first. And we got to move this. We got to put this number 087 in here. 532. 532. Okay, so now we're looking for the number 156. 156 is right here. So let's make that red. Is there another 156 anywhere else? 615 is 156, right? So now the next number that came up after the 601 was on the 29th, which was 572. Is that 601 attached to, see right here, 601 went to 572. That 601, that if you find the 572 is the number that came up. All right, so is there that 165 attached to the 572 here? Right here, look, straight across. 572 attached to the 615, the 156, because that played on the 20th. 752. Then if you look this way, 752, 752, 752, 615 is what the number was attached to. See, so that's how this one played out. So let's go ahead and change that back. Let's remove this back off. I'm going to try another one. Let's go back into 2025, right? So let's go back to the 2025 of last year. So I'm using the free stuff. So that's why these are all marked off now, right? So I use this thing called the Lottery Post, lotterypost.com. I don't promote them, but it's a good one that I use. I mean, it gives you like all the numbers of the 1 year back is what it is. All right, so let's try August. Let's try August. Let's try August 15th. Number was 189. So I'm going to put 189 here. I'm going to put 189 here. Run that first. So I'm going to take this 565 and put it in here. 565010. Okay. So now the 189. So now we're going to back on this. So this is the 9 here. So we're going to go back to the ninth, which the ninth came up as 161, right? So we're going to put 161 here. And on the 161 is the first, right? Because back dates here to the last number, which is 205. So now we're going to put 205 here. Now this is what we're going to be looking for is a 205 on this chart. Somewhere in this chart should be a 205 attached altogether. So 205 is here, 205 goes this way, both ways, right? 205. Then there's a 205 right on top as well, right? So, but I'm not going to mess with that one. Let's just leave that one off. Okay, so 205. So the day after the 189 played, which was on the 15th, right? Which was on the 15th, came up as 780. So let's take a look and see. So we put down 780. Along along the 205, is there a 780 attached to it? Right here, look. 780. There's 780 here. There's a 78, and then there's a 0 here, 780. So these are all attached to the 520. 780, 780 going straight. 70870 here. So it crams up against the 205, right? So, but that's just like, I don't know how it works, but I mean, it's been really like, it's kind of consistent in a way. Because most of the time we just try to play off of the last number, whatever that came up. You know, most people would say, hey, let's try, let's say 780 was the main number. 235, right? 780 is the main number. After the 780 played, it went to 049. right? So let's make this as a text. That way we see the 0. Make it the same size. So the next day's number after 780 played 049. Right here, see? 049. But if you backdate on the 049, then you go to the then you would go to the ninth, right? So 749 to the ninth here. And it still goes back to the 1, which is 205. Now if you look here, 205 is right here. Attached to the 094. 205 blocks it in. 2525 0 and 0. Right? Until they both block it in. So the next day's number was 049. 049. 049. 049. So it's pretty weird. I mean, and just, but the thing is, like, I can't say it guarantees a win or anything. It's just really got to find which numbers you want to play, right? But this is just some strategies I pick along the way. So maybe this might be useful in your state. Test them out. If you have the sheet, it's even better. So that way you have understanding how to run these sheets. So that way you can test which is your favorite rundown to use. Some people like to use a 730. Some people like to use a 308. Some people like to use a 369. Each of these rundowns is already put in built in for you. So that way you search faster, you look at numbers faster, quicker, just some ideas that you can pick up along the way. But I mean, it's just part of the stuff that we have here on this spreadsheet. Okay. But anyways, this is a quick video for you guys today on that. Is just using the dates as numbers. I mean, sometimes people will say just use the hit numbers. They add it together, then just keep the third number or the second number. Some people play it that way. Sometimes I'm a fan of it. Sometimes I'm not. But it just depends on what type of rundown you're using. Okay. But 317 is a powerful one. I mean, I don't mind 317 at all because a lot of people do use it. I use it most of the time too when I play. And let's try one more number. Let me go back and see here because I want to test out like yesterday's number. So yesterday's number was the 26th. Let's just do one more and see how this one worked out. See if the last number from yesterday worked out as well. So that was 862, so it was 032, right? So 032, and then, so this is the 2, so it went to the second. Second is 649. 649. And all right, 649. So now we go back into the previous month. So it's because it's the ninth, go back. So now we go to 572, which is a 29. 572. So 032 is what we're playing. So 032. 032 is here. So 418 is what I'm going to put in here. 963. 963. All right, so 032. So now we're looking for 572. So is there anywhere 572 is connected? Right here, 527. Straight across. All right. So the next number that came up yesterday is 682. Is there 725? So this whole thing's right here is 725, 572. All right, so the whole thing cross. 682. 82. Yeah, it came out correctly. See, 725 is here, right? So this here is down here. Attach 682. Money. 682. 572. So, but that's how this one played out because this number here, the 682 is right here, 82 and then 6 down here. But it's not playing exactly off the number that came up here because you wouldn't have seen this at all if you just were playing this sheet here. All right. Is there a 682 attached anywhere in here in this just one rundown? Nothing. 2 here. But I'm right here, 628 this way. But still attached to the 72 here because the 752 is here. 682, 682. So this would have been the red here. And the green go between it. All right, so that's how this one played out. All right. Well, hopefully you guys learned something today. If you guys have any other information, questions, or anything about it, just put it in the comments below. If you guys like the sheet, the spreadsheet that I have here, you can purchase this on Etsy. I'll go ahead and throw in the link on there for you guys that you guys can get it. It is very useful, very easy to use. I mean, the only thing is just keep in mind when you use the spreadsheet, make sure you use it on a computer or a laptop because this is not because with Excel spreadsheets, Microsoft doesn't really have a full version of Excel on phones or iPads. Most of the time, best way to do this is use it on a laptop or a computer that has Microsoft, the full version of it. Because we use when we create these is we use macros for these to work. And when we use macros, they pretty much will give us a lot of capabilities of how to make the numbers work, how to change them, how to go between one sheet to another, all these other stuff, right? So that's how we created this. So hopefully this helps you out. But if you want the copy of this, it is up for sale on Etsy. So just check it out. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Have a good day. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful Valentine's Day. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.